So this is the Coffee Q&A. Coffee Q&A is a show that we do most Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern, talking about coffee, answering questions, coffee theory, drinking coffee, tasting coffee, everything. And today we're on the way to Milton, Pennsylvania, to check out a place called The Well. And why Milton? Milton, if you look up on the map, Milton is kind of in, well, it was an ice rink. Is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Well, the middle of Pennsylvania. And I'm in a town, I don't know what town I'm passing through right now, but it's kind of like Mifflinburg. I think I'm in a place called Mifflinburg. And it's kind of like the first sign of like, what do you call that? Of civilian life that I've seen in the last like 30, 40 miles. Like it's been all, Shamokin. I'm in Shamokin Dam, Pennsylvania. Shamokin, like smoking, right? So Shamokin. Kent, how are you? So as you can see, so I'm driving along we're going back to a place called Route 15. We're off of it for a moment because the route takes us off. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of like, this route is pretty heavily traversed, even though it's a smaller roadway. There are a lot of trucks because a lot of the trucking happens through this corridor up through the state of Pennsylvania, and this will take you up to New York State to the north. And then a lot of times on the trips that we would do many years ago to Toronto from Baltimore, we would drive this route pretty much all the way up to the New York Thruway, take that across to Buffalo, cross over Niagara Falls and into Canada. Mom, how are you? Maku, good to see you. Of course, I haven't been to Canada in quite a while, and the Canadians are not too happy with Americans right now, or America, not Americans. Canadians are relatively cool people that I'm sure they realize that not everyone is part of that part of America. But they're pissed off. Like, and I think rightly so. Like, if you were another nation, you came to America and you're like, hey, we want to annex you. Everyone here would be like, gosh, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we're going to this place called The Well, and unfortunately, we're a couple minutes. We're still several minutes away. The drive up from where I live is about 2.5 hours, and I'm trying to make good time, but it's hard to make time. It's not like you can't go too fast, right? But it's called The Well Coffee House, and the place I'm going to it's in a town called Milton, which is where I'm going. And there's another town just on the other side of the Susquehanna River, which is they're basically, there's Milton and this place called Lewisburg that are kind of on two different sides of the river. Evidently, there's a school, I think it's called Bucknell. Is that right, Bucknell? Begins with a B. Bucknell, I believe it is a university that's on the Lewisburg. And there's quite a bit of coffee shops there. And parking is a little bit more tricky, or it could be tricky. I don't know. I've never been there. So, actually, I think one of my good friends went to college there. Anyway, then in this town called Milton, I found a place called The Well. The Well, it looks all kind of modern, and like I think there's an indoor playground, which I'm like, is that where I want to go? I don't know. I don't know if in the pictures that I saw on Google Maps, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go there because of pictures. I was like, maybe too modern, too high concept, or whatever, too suburban. Not that that's ever stopped us before, but just. And then one of the commenters was like, they have a Slayer. And I was like, a Slayer? Here's a shop in the middle of like Pennsylvania, and they have a Slayer. Like that's, a Slayer is a Canadian machine. Oh, back to Canada. And, here we are, North 147. We're already there. We're almost there. We're getting close. Slayer is a machine that is, very kind of advanced, right? It's all high tech. And so I just would expect to see that more in like a urban coffee shop environment that are people that are hip and like, whatever, the stereotypical thing, right? But out here in rural Pennsylvania, Slayer. So, or choose the Well to go check it out, because if you're going to put that kind of money into a machine, then chances are you are going to have spent some effort, or you will be expending some effort to make something maybe.
この先、路肩に車両です。ご注意ください。
All right, we're getting closer. We're just getting the split off. Lewisburg to the left, Milton now to the right, and we're going to cross over the Susquehanna River, which lately I feel like I've been crossing over this river at different points of the river quite frequently. But here we are, this American highways, I don't know, it's kind of exciting. For those of you who may be watching from outside the United States. And big countryside, right? Oh yeah, here is the river. So we're looking for an exit called Broadway Road. So here it is, out here, the Susquehanna River. Right there it is. Oh, that's looking south towards Maryland, Delaware. And then if we scoop around, that's coming from the north, from New York State, or wherever it's coming from, I don't know. Look at that house on the hill there. I don't know if you could see that. There's that White House all by itself. Obviously, if it was from the old days, it was, well, even today, it's probably built by a rich person. Yeah, only rich people have. And look, it looks big from where I am, and we are miles and miles away. So it must be quite huge. Let me pay attention to driving now. Before we run off the road. And George, how are you? Oh, thanks for the hair. I'm glad you like the haircut. Does that say X2 or X3? L'chaim. Sorry, my ability to read Cyrillic is poor. I haven't been to Moscow in oh gosh, how long has it been since I've been to Moscow? Oh, it's been over 15 years since I've been to Moscow. No, is that right? Yeah, I was in Moscow in 2008, so it's been a while. So I'm really bad at reading. Marco says, did anyone else hear a lady speaking Japanese? Yes, you did hear a lady speaking Japanese. I'm using Waze to direct my directions to wherever I go, and I have Japanese set as the language to help me think, or at least to help try to keep my very, very limited ability to comprehend Japanese, at least at a very modicum level of ability. Like, it's very my ability to comprehend is very small, so I'm trying to keep that. And I'm still trying to decipher what she's saying, but pretty much she usually chimes in when there's like a car on the road, or there's a police guy somewhere on the road, or there's construction. So I'm starting to finally decipher that well. Yeah, that was just, George is right, that was it. Dev, good to see you guys both. We are on the way to go check out this coffee shop called The Well, that when I read the Google Maps listing for it, they said they had a Slayer. I was like, a Slayer? I'm gonna go check out a Slayer. All right. Anton, how are you? And so the Slayer is something interesting, because, when I first saw the Slayer, I was like, cool. Looks like a Synesso, right? So at the SCA trade show back in the day, when they first came out, this must have been, I don't know, was it 10, 15 years ago? They were showing, the owner of the company was like, hey, what do you think of it? I said, it looks cool. Kind of looks like a Slayer. I mean, it kind of looks like or I said, it's got a lot of, I just said it now, design cues from the Synesso. And he got mad. You could tell he got upset. He was not happy with me saying that. But I was like, I mean, this lever with the round circle for your steam wand, I mean, that is Slayer. I mean, that is what Slayer, I mean, that's what Synesso came out with. I mean, I can't. And then the exposed group heads, I mean, exposed group heads are not really Synesso. I mean, that's kind of, I guess you could say that's Lumber Zoko to a certain extent, or a bunch of others, but still, it's like, dude, it looks, you can't deny there was like, well, whatever. He got upset. I was like, well, whatever, dude, you can't. But I was always kind of skeptical about them. And then one of my friends, Danelle Newbaum, she owns Torque Coffee now in San Diego. She was the roaster for another coffee roaster in San Diego back about 10 years ago. And we were out there visiting with them, and she was like, you know, developing their, she was the green buyer head roaster, developing their blends and all this stuff. And then we went to one of their locations, and I had this shot of espresso from this Synesso machine. And up at that point, I mean, from that point, up until most recently, that was one of the very best espressos I've ever tasted. And I was like, what in the world? Like, it was amazing, like amazing, complex flavor. Everything was executed beautifully. And I said to her, what is going on with this? She was like, well, we really took the time to tweak our blend, tweak our roasting, and then tweak the settings on the machine. Like, she was telling me they spent an insane amount of time programming the machine and training the staff to get to that level. Now, the owner of the company wasn't really that focused on it, so he was more of a business guy, so he didn't really care about the coffee. So I'm sure that the quality, after she left and after a bunch of other people that left the company, it's probably just an okay shop now. It's a typical suburban shop, so I don't know, but Anton said, with tomorrow, I can replicate Slayer shot with just 2 steps. Oh, nice. And I already made a profile that tastes better to me. Oh, perfect. What was the machine you were using before the Morrow? And I think Synesso was, well, the round hand, you know, the handles with the lever, something like that, whatever that's called. I can't remember. Good morning to you, Paige. Is the audio out now? God. Are we back yet? Okay, Belly, good. George says that never guess a question you don't know the answer to. I mean, I'm sure they were like, I mean, it was the hot ticket item at the time, you know, and it was like, I'm sure that they had a lot of people coming up, and you know, people like to kiss up to all these people, and they love to give accolades, and they love to, like, you know, blow their horn, and I'm just like, well, it looks to me like there's design cues from the Synesso, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. Like, everything is stolen at some level. Everything is inspired by something else. Okay, so turn right here, and I think if I remember from the maps, I'm not using the maps. I'm actually just trying to remember. I was like paying attention, or trying to pay attention to figure out, okay, where do I turn? So we turn on Broadway. Now we got to take a left off of somewhere. And look at this place. We are totally like in a rural, like this is rural, man. There is nothing out here. Look at Greystone Tavern. Look at that. There's a cemetery, right? Like, uh-oh. I think I missed something because I heard the GPS. All right, we have to, I did miss the turnoff. So we're looking for Schoolhouse Road. But look at this. We are like in total country. Like, this is Country. I think this might be the turn. I think this might be it. Schoolhouse Road. All right, here we go. We got to turn here and then turn left again. Oh, I don't know here though. Oh, that would be a nice workshop, that red building back there, if you just renovated it. I'm glad people aren't like, I'm glad there's no police. Christian, this can't be it. This is a Christian school. I don't belong in places like that. Oh, there it is. The Well. Okay, so I guess there is a coffee house somewhere here. Oh, there. This says The Well on that little banister or whatever you call that. We'll park over here. Okay, this would be a little bit on the freaky side. I wonder what we're gonna find in this place. Okay, let's see here. Why is this not working now? Oh, did we lose signal? Son of a bitch. Are we off again?